Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Baggett on Stock Market Caddy, and we are now live on YouTube. We've been pretty busy the last couple of days. Lot going on, right? Lot going on in the world, right? Dangerous place, noisy place. So much for the summer doldrums. But we don't trade the noise. We don't trade the news. We don't. Nope. We just trade our algos. We're going to give you a chance to view. I'm not going to bend your ear at all. We're busy doing a lot of stuff. But we started like we do every week, and we started with a beginning balance at 25,000. Now you don't need to have 25,000. That's our starting balance every week. But you could reduce it down if you want to trade micro or some semblance thereof, 1/10 the size. But we are been trading quite a bit. It's robotic trading, and we've been doing some scalps, and we're to the good thus far this week. It's only Tuesday. We're good, $1,400, right? $1,400. We'll take that, right? That's not bad. One market, one contract, right? And the week is still pretty young. If you have any questions, let us know. Enjoy. This is Swing Machine. Now we're not trading Swing Machine. We're trading SMC bow tie on a 3-minute interval is what we're trading. So we could be trading swing, but we've chosen not to, but we do keep it ever present. If you want us to plug in any market that you might have traded or been thinking of trading and you want us to plug it in, let us know. We're happy to do it. We'll let you watch for a little bit, probably for about an hour or so. Have fun. How much margin are we using at this hour? About $1,950. That works, huh? We're not going to over leverage. No, we're not going to do that. We are now good for the week. 2,600 bucks. That works. That works. Maybe you want to take your profit here. We're not going to. We're going to let her run. We're going to let her run. No noise in my office. No TV. Music. Audiobooks. Treadmill. Couple of golden retrievers. A beautiful view of the pool. Quiet. Not a lot of noise. I'm willing to chat with you about anything you want to chat about. You want to chat about stochastics and MACDs and moving averages, then that's not us. Not gonna cloud your mind with that bullshit. Or candles, candles this, candles that. Um, Not gonna do that. 10 to 12 weeks of this probably could very well change your trading life. Just need 10 to 12 weeks, get them 10 to 12 weeks under your belt and just, repeat it. Do you want to be able to drive a golf ball, 400 yards at the driving range every, 3 or 400, bucket or every, a bucket or two? Is that gonna get it done for you? Or would you rather go out and play golf with 4 or 5 clubs or, and just hit in the middle of the fairway and hit a 9 iron and, and just, have a good time? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. Hot as blazes in Tampa, but it's beautiful, beautiful temperature in the house, humidity, get a beautiful AC system. Even the dogs don't want to go out. They want to go out to go swim. They don't even want to go, so we'll have a beautiful fall. You think the markets are volatile now? Wait till September, then October. Oh my goodness. Wait until after the election. Oh my God. You want to be learning then? What's going to happen after the election? Well, we know it isn't going to be Biden. No more riding with Biden. He's done. And you think the market's going to be a little volatile early next year? You think there's going to be some comeuppance for all this money printing? Maybe. Just maybe. Do you think we're going to take it in the shorts? Not a chance in hell, kids. Not a chance in hell. If you have any aspirations to join our Q School be sure to reach out, reserve your spot. We have folks that are reserved weeks and months out in advance, right? They get it scheduled when it's going to be best for them. So, don't assume that, we can start immediately, right? Where else can you have so much fun? Isn't this? Oh my God. You know, I see everybody getting all cranked up over, and it is. I mean, it's important. Don't get me wrong, it's important. But, are you sitting in the lazy boy every day watching Fox? Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on, folks. You know, give the lazy boy a rest. Give Fox a rest or MSNBC. Who cares? They're so behind. It's ludicrous. You get your news. We get our news. I get all the news we want. We don't trade the news. It's a beautiful thing. You know, but we're trying to encourage and teach folks trading for a business. I'm not managing your money. I'm not soliciting your money to manage. Nope. I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything. No, no, I'm not a broker. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy, just a guy. Now we haven't been doing this for 6 months or 6 years or, we got about, years, decades at this point, and we're willing to share. We are what we've learned, the mistakes that we've made, the mistakes, you can learn from other people's mistakes. We'll tell you the mistakes. We've made plenty of mistakes. I'm not, bashful about telling you that. I've made plenty. Probably gonna make some more. I hope not. I hope not. But we make mistakes, you know. But you gotta want to learn from them. You don't learn from them, that's no good. Now, if you're getting it done with whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it. I'm okay with that. You can tune in but if you're not, the most valuable commodity of all is time. You know, President Carter ran out today. His option was up and expired. So we only got so much time. Can't buy it, can't sell it. You want to maximize it, you know. You want to do it before you lose any money, right? So this is a beautiful thing here. Up to you. Any questions, let us know. You want me to punch up any market on any interval? Happy to do it. Now, one of the things that we do, we try, I really want to be doing it all the time. But we only have so many hours. We're doing so many different things. We like to do some what we call strategy development. And I want our members to know, in case you're passing through and maybe you're a member, we've been working on a program whereby members could place a daily P&L, a daily profit and loss. It's a little tricky to do that, and for a whole host of reasons. But we do have a little program. I want everyone to know we do have a little program that is going to hopefully meet that need. But if you are an annual member, you have to let us know that one, you're interested in, two, let us know what strategy you would want us to plug that optionality into. It has to be plugged into as of right now. So keep us posted and don't hesitate to let us know. Now I could override the strategy and just let this bitch run. And that is I could set a break even and just let it run. But she's been doing okay. And again, it's only Tuesday, right? It's only Tuesday, so don't beat us up too badly. Let me change that. I mean, I know what you're thinking. He started with 25,000. He's already got 27,000. He's only made $2,600. Okay, I know. It's only 2,600 bucks. I know. Pretty decent profit factor. I haven't made one decision to enter. Not one. Nope. Not one. In fact, I can't remember. I mean, we've been running for weeks here, different strategies. I haven't made one decision to enter a trade. Not one. I haven't made one decision to take a loss. Not one. Nope. The only decision I have made is what program I'm going to run in the settings, which we will tell our members the settings. And I will, but you can run your own settings. You might want to run it faster, you might want to run it slower, you might want to, that's all part of the learning process. So I have to make the decision of what market, what strategy I'm going to run, how fast or how slow I'm going to run it, how tight am I going to run it, profit target, stop loss, a host of other different criteria. Um, when I'm going to run it, what hours am I going to run it? That all done, that all said and done. Then the only decision I've made is going in occasionally, and grabbing a profit, which is a nice way to go because I don't have to grunt and grind on where to enter. I don't have to grunt and grind on the loss. I can blame the machine. Damn machine. Damn strategy. Man, got a loser. Not me. Wasn't me. Wasn't my fault. And then when I go up there and if I could grab that 17, ooh, that feels good. Ooh, I took a profit for 17, 1800. Ooh, that feels good. Right? Psychologically, it feels pretty good. And then I gotta wait. Then I turn the strategy back on. I recalibrate it, turn it back on. She runs again. And I wait and I wait and I listen to an audio book, a podcast or two, some music, work in the strategy development. And then, ooh, look at that. Got another little trade. Now, if we get our account north of 30,000 again, we had a high water mark last week of 33,000. I tried to squeeze out a little extra, and we tried to, but we were still above 30,000. It was over 5,000 for the week, trading one market. That works out all right. Put together 10 or 12 of those weeks. That'd feel pretty good. You know, Probably be able to go out and buy a Honda Civic. You seen car prices lately? What in the hell? What the hell are they doing? I was seeing that a Chevy Impala, I guess they discontinued the Chevy Impala. They got a Chevy Impala. I think it's got 8 cylinders or something, maybe six. Six. I had a Chevy Impala when I was in college. 8 cylinders. That son of a bitch moved. It was a great car. $78,000 for a Chevy Impala. Oh man, that'd take a few weeks of trading there. You know what? I've never been in a few love cars. All the power to you. I've never been a car guy. It's always just been a mode of transportation. But it's 78 grand for a Chevy Impala. Oh, Jesus, kind of crazy. Anywho, anywho, this is all scalable. This is all scalable. Now I have a member and nice guy. I mean, Don, why are you just trading one mini? I trade 5 or 10 of those things. Because if we had, you know, now we could, but we choose not to, right? We choose not to. I mean, I could drive to Lowe's, when I go to Lowe's, I mean, I could drive like 80 miles an hour if I wanted to. I'd get there really quick, but I probably, run some risk hitting somebody. So, when you drive around town, you obey the road signs and the rules of the road, and you kind of, no, you don't have to add that kind of stress, do you? So when we do our trading, you know, I mean, can I put on, 5 or 10 contracts and speed it up, get it going, you get the juices going? Yeah, we could. Not a good idea. I'm not going to do that. If I was a pilot and had a small plane, could I fly it at night? Could I fly it in the mountains? Could I fly it in bad weather? That'd be kind of fun, huh? Yeah, woo. Am I going to do that? Nope. Not going to do that. Bagger, you're so conservative. Man, I am. I don't gamble either, right? We got an Indian casino. Nothing wrong with it. Got some buddies that like to go down there and and they're good. They're good. They make a couple of bucks, but that ain't for me. I'm not a gambler. Although, some of those games are, games of skill, poker, 21, but roulette, all the other stuff, they're all games of chance. This is not a game of chance. It isn't. It is not a game of chance. When you can't reach into the roulette wheel and stop the marble, we can. You can't change the betting odds at certain games. We can. So this is not gambling. This is a skill set. Mhm. They don't like you doing, there's some, I'm an investor. I'm an investor. They don't like you doing it. No, they don't. I don't tell anybody what I do other than on YouTube. I talk to you guys. I don't tell anybody else. No, they wouldn't like it anyways. They don't like it. Government don't like it. You know, do you think the media lie to you? You think over the last couple of weeks you've been lied to a few times? Just a little bit? Holy smokes. Do you see that woman yesterday? You think she was lying? Lying through omission, commission? She'll wind up someplace else, probably be a college professor for a criminal justice program at some university making 300 grand a year. It's amazing, right? Criminal justice. How about victim justice too? But that gets me down a different road. We won't go there. But the originators of fake news is Wall Street. Okay, Wall Street and Madison Avenue. The financial media, they're the worst. The absolute worst. I hope you figured that out by now, right? Are you subscribing to you could be subscribing to one of the newspapers, one of the magazines, one of the podcast services, one of the, a former hockey Yale captain, the macro babble, he's got a crack research team and going to tell you, that the world is going to do this economically and it's going to do that, and only for it to, do just the opposite. Are you making decisions based on that shit? God, please. You don't have to come to us. You really don't. You don't. You don't have to learn to do well, you got to learn to do something, but for the love of Pete, don't listen to that shit. I mean, you can listen to it, because occasionally I'll hear it, right? I just find it's like kind of amusing. It's like watching a car wreck. And so that wasn't very nice to say, but you know what I'm figure of speech. And I like to see them, just how wrong can they get it, right? They get super bearish, they get super bullish. You see, we don't do any of that. I didn't. I didn't, fill our members' heads with a bunch of mumbo jumbo economic this and news that and this item, that item. No, we just came in. We're tracking the money flow and we're trading the money flow and we're extracting what? Cash flow. What is the lifeblood to any business? Whether you own a Subway store, a dry cleaners, a Publix grocery store, you need cash flow. And it better be positive cash flow or you won't be in business very long. So we're trading for cash flow. That's all. That's all this is, right? That's it. We got some wonderful, wonderful tools. We're constantly building, constantly working on some things to hopefully make the lives of our members easier and our life easier. That's all we're doing. It's a beautiful thing. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, when you're around this sort of thing day in and day out, we do hear and see the noise and the news of the day. And so it's pretty difficult to not hear it. We don't make any decisions on it. So you are a little bit more dialed in than the average bear of what's going on in the world. And, so hopefully you like that or don't, you can listen to it to whatever extent you want. It is comical though, isn't it? Jesus Christ. The last couple of weeks, I mean, really, I mean, I don't know. Jeez. You know, I mean, just yesterday, they couldn't even bring him out. They couldn't even bring him out. He couldn't even get in front of a camera to say, hey guys, I'm out of here. He holds Mr. Magoo. He holds an Oval Office address to the nation on a Sunday night to announce that, Trump had been found guilty on, a bunch of trumped up charges. That was important. That he had to do from the Oval Office and tell us all about it. But on Sunday, was it Sunday or Monday? At around 1:15, he decides to take, you know what? I'm done with this, guy. It's nice knowing you, but I'm all done. I mean, doesn't even show up. Gave his staff a 1 minute notice. Doesn't even show up. And then mails it in with a phone call. What? What? Come on. Come on. Can we do better than this? I mean, no. Oh, it's rich, isn't it? I mean, what I really want to know, I mean, is Dr. Jill still going to make it to Paris on Friday? She was going to Paris and going to do the Olympic thing and eat some escargot and caviar and, probably take a cruise on the Seine. I mean, she's still going to get to do that? I hope so. I mean, boy, I wouldn't want Jill to have to, slum it in Rehoboth all summer long, huh? I mean, that's important. Maybe we should take Joe with him. Oh my God. You know, and do you want to leave? Do you think I'm going to leave our wealth that Susan and I have worked our whole lives to amass? Do you think I'm going to leave it exposed to this band of fools? I don't think so. No. You can do that if you want. I don't have at it. I'm not. No. No. I mean, we can play the what if game, but I'm not taking, a 50, 80% haircut in our retirement account. El finito. Absolutely not. Yeah, nope. Not a chance. But I love these guys. One time I was I remember it was 2005. I went to the Money Show. Susan and I went to the Money Show in Orlando, and we just went to walk around. And we were having lunch, and you know, things got talking, and I was talking to an old geezer, and I told him that I was a trader. He's like, a trader? Why in the world would you want to be a trader? You don't make any money trading. You got to be an investor. That's the only way. How many rich people do you know? How many super wealthy people do you know that are traders? They're all investors. You got to wake up. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I mean, I just, I didn't get into it. I'm like, okay, everyone's going to have one. Look up, look up Jim Simons. He just recently passed away, unfortunately. Jim Simons, Simons. He founded Renaissance Capital in 1981. He was a computer geek back then, and he was a math geek. And he started a hedge fund for himself. In fact, they closed it to the open. Renaissance Technologies, you got it. That dude's performance is the Medallion Group. Is that Renaissance Capital too? Medallion? I think it is. Or they renamed it maybe. And it's private now. But his performance is, I'm talking like 20, 30,000 times what the Buffetts did. If you think Buffett is the model investor, so to that guy, or to those people out there that think that you can't trade your way around these markets and have a very good life. I'm not saying you're going to be Jim Simons, but I'm not saying you're not. I mean, I would never say, hey, never say anything. And never, you're never too rich, you're never too poor, you're never too smart, you're never too dumb, you're never too old, you're never too young. Um, that is our message on everything. Jesus. It's so disappointing sometimes. I see these young people on the Twitter sphere and everything. They're so defeated, and they're 20 something or even teens. They're so defeated. Why? That is so bad. Are you kidding me? Are you friggin' kidding me? You know, my dad is no longer with us, but one time I was applying to colleges and I sent a couple of applications to Stanford and to some of the Ivy League schools. And my dad said, Don, why are you doing that? Well, Don, please. You know, he goes, I can't afford to send you there. You can't afford, this is even back then, you can't afford to go there and put yourself into debt for your whole life, Don. He goes, and Don, when it comes to these and I thought there was a period there, I thought, oh, if I didn't go to one of those schools, it wasn't, I said to him, I said, if I don't go to one of those schools, then I might as well not even go. He's like, oh, please, son, please. He said, Don, it's not where you go to school. Get over it. And he talked to me in these terms. He was very, I mean, he was World War II guy. He's like, get over it. It's not the education that you get. It's not going to be the name of the school. Once you're out, you go there and you mature and you grow up and you learn what you learn. But after that, it's over. It's going to be what you do with the education. This is a guy who didn't have a college education, right? Boston police captain, but very successful in his own right, but didn't have it. He had a little portion of it, but and I was like, you know what? You're right. I mean, I respected I loved my dad and had the utmost respect. And he's right. And all these kids, going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt for gender bender studies and God knows what. I mean, come on, and where are they going to be when they're 30 with these bullshit degrees? When you talk about, big, people want to get upset about big pharma, which is, probably not very good, and big this. How about big education? How about big government? God almighty. But in any case, I digress a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. They're so disillusioned though. They're buying into the con on both sides. You know. Mm. Not here. We don't really care. This is maybe hard to believe, right? But I don't really care if the S&P is trading at 5608 or if it's trading at 7,500 or if it's trading at 3,500. There you go. I really don't care. And people who don't understand and don't know and understand what we're doing, they don't believe that. Well, oh, Jesus Christ, don't tell me that the S&P could go down to 2,500, Don. Jesus. You know why? Because they have blindly put all their assets into the S&P 500. And they need it to go to 10,000 to 15,000 to 20,000. Well, I get news for you. It may not go there. It may not. It may go to shit in a shingle. From 19, look at financial history. You think, we know they know history, right? I mean, people's sense of history starts when they were born and when they, expire. That's their sense of history, their frame of history. They don't know squat about anything. But They certainly don't know anything about financial history. Do you know that between 1966 and 1981, the S&P went nowhere? You could have invested in the S&P index for 16 years, from 1966 to 1981, about 16 years, and you would have just got your money back. Maybe some dividends, but that's it. Went nowhere. Yeah, but over the last 100 years, the market goes up 10%. Oh, okay. How do we know? Maybe for the next 20 years, God willing, we're all still here, the S&P is trading at 5606. It might be. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And what if the S&P goes down 50%? Never happened. Bullshit. It happens in history. It might happen. What are you going to do if it goes to 2,500? What are you going to do if it goes to 1,000? You going to watch your retirement accounts melt? You going to count on this government? Jesus. I mean, think about it. Think about this. I mean, even the last 2 weeks, is this not highlighted? I mean, this only why I'm so animated about all this is because this is what I said to Susan in 2001. They're liars, Susan. It's corrupt as shit. They're lying. You know, if we have a God forbid, a school shooting, God forbid, a bad fire in California, God forbid, a bank robbery or something that's very large, you will have the powers to be, the police authorities come out and get in front of a microphone. I mean, we're the United States of America, for Christ's sakes. We're supposed to be. Uh-oh. We got a delivery. It's okay, Abby. We had an attempted assassination of a recent past president that's running for president. Has anybody got in front of a damn microphone to tell us that, even if they got in front of a microphone and said, we don't know shit. We don't know anything that just happened. They haven't even done that. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're in Provincetown, running around. They're at Cape May. They're in Rehoboth on the beach. This market goes down 50, 60, 80, 90% because they lied to you. They'll be bullshit then. Then they'll care. I mean, it's ridiculous. This guy's been telling us he's gonna run. I see that. Yeah, she just resigned. She should have resigned 2 days ago or the next day. Like I say, she's going to wind up teaching. She's going to wind up teaching at John Hopkins, college, probably making 300 grand teaching criminal justice studies. I mean, give it, and some poor kid is going to go into debt to sit in her class and then come out and talk to us like he's smart. Here we got a sitting president. He's been telling us, I'm up for the job. I'm up for the job. And then he mails in his resignation letter. He doesn't even tell his staff. He just mails it in. He didn't even have the balls. Sorry, Joe. He didn't even have the balls to stand in front of us. It's a joke. We should demand more and better. We should demand it. Don't treat us like shit. I'm sorry. But back to the markets. This is why I do what I do and Susan does what we do. Because I know they're shitbirds. And I did it, back when George W. was around. He was a shitbird. And McCain was a shitbird. They're terrible. And you're going to put You're going to take all the wealth that you earn, you work, 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 and what you're able to save after taxes, and you're going to just throw it into the S&P 500 and hope that it's there when you need it? Are you nuts? I'm serious. Are you nuts? What an incredible chance you're taking. Look at history. In March of 2000, the Nasdaq was at 5,000. In 9 months later, it was at 900. These people that say they will buy and hold for the long time, they're full of shit. They will puke. They will puke all the way down. They will puke it out. Well, yeah, I'm with you there, Darian. A meritocracy, but we don't have a meritocracy. We got a meritocracy here because, folks will ask me, try to stay on the financial. I don't want to go political, but boy, this past couple of weeks, I mean, love of God. I just thank God that I'm not in the military. I mean, what if you're in the military and you're stationed overseas and you're watching this stuff play out? Like, what the hell's going on? I'm putting my life on the line for this country. This country's treating us like crap. Politics aside, did you see the image of Rudy Giuliani? Politics aside, you may like him, you may not like him, whatever. But here he was, mayor of New York, 9/11, pretty much. They've destroyed the guy. He's falling around like a little old man at the convention. They have destroyed him financially. They've taken away his law degree. They've done that to me, and they'll do it to anybody. You want to trust these people? You think the bankers, you think BlackRock is interested in your outcome? And so, but this was the conversation that I had with Susan. And she said, okay, smarty pants, what are we going to do about it? I'm not sure, Susan. I'm not entirely sure. But I got us completely in a cash position before the crashes. And I said, I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to see that. And we're going to figure it out. Thank God. Thank God we did. It wasn't that easy. It was way back then. The technology was just coming available. And, there wasn't anybody out there. There really isn't anyone else out there. And I've said it. I mean, I think the Nigerians are great guys. I love following them. I love listening to them and stuff. But you want to spend $15,000 and fly out and have a dinner with them, or wine and cheese at Napa Valley. Okay, I mean, or do you want to take a fraction of that and spend 3 weeks with us and learn and get your your trading life underway? The likes of which who knows? Doesn't matter what I do, doesn't matter what anyone else does, only matters what you do. But I got to tell you, it's going to get very, very noisy. It always does on the way down. And we're just getting started, man. This fall, this next year or two is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Traders love bear markets. No one has even seen a bear market. We're just getting started. So, any case, I didn't mean to rant and rave, but boy, I am reminded of why we do what we do. I mean, this past couple of weeks, it's gross. Either side. It's not. I'm not making I'm with Darian, a meritocracy, man. Which we don't have. I mean, I even said to Susie is that when I was talking about the pilots, we just had a Southwest airline jet supposedly fly or miss the Courtney Campbell Bridge by 150 feet, a week or two ago. Probably a DEI hire. I mean, they're plugging them in. They're plugging them in every place. Med schools, pilots. I don't want to get on one of these planes. I might have one of those for a pilot. I mean, I used to, fly quite a bit. I always was comforted to knowing that, the guy's probably, former military pilot. Now, for God's sakes, God only knows. I don't get in one of those tubes. God. Oh, we get slow cooked. We get slow cooked on as a society on just accepting it. I don't accept it. I don't. And I encourage you not to accept it. I am a skeptical person by nature. I'm a curious person by nature, and I am a stubborn SOB. Very, very stubborn. And thank God, without that stubbornness, we wouldn't have built what we built. Now, I'm not talking about Stock Market Academy. I'm talking about the tools that we have. Embarrassing to tell you how much money we put into it, how much time we put into this. You wouldn't believe it. You don't have to do that. We'll save you a lot, but you know, months we could spend months on just one program, and you can subscribe and have it. You can choose to apply or not apply. We try to give you the framework, but you'll have to do it. You'll have to do it. You'll have to make the decisions around what you can decide. And that's what we teach. So anywho, interesting times, right? May we live, it's an old Chinese proverb. It's not a positive one, no, when they deliver it, but may we live in interesting times, and that we do. And it's just getting started, folks. Just getting started. And for us, it's just another trading day. It's just another trading week. As hard as that is for folks to believe, but it is for us. It truly is. And we're to the good right now. It's Tuesday, right? Our account, we're up $3,000. Beautiful. Could I have traded 10 of them? I could have. We'll be up 30. But that would create a little bit of stress in my life. I just don't need it, right? Again, you don't have to, when you drive to Lowe's, do you have to drive 80 miles an hour to get there that fast? Is it worth it? So we take our time. Enjoy. Any questions, let us know. Good to see you, Darian. And any other questions? It is really, though, it's wild. It is wild. If you go back on our YouTube videos, we I had to make sure that the dogs are like, "Are you okay?" I used to hear me be pissed. So I can't upset the pooches. I hope I didn't upset anybody else. Um, when our first website first came out, I was pissed about it. And I had all the politicos at the time. Bonnie Fwank, Bonnie Fwank. It was a piece of work for you. You know, Chris Dodd from Connecticut. They were the poster children for the housing crisis. Where are they today? Oh, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to think about it. Nobody cared, right? Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I'd rant and rave in 2005, 2006, it would, we didn't even have Stock Market Caddy, but I'd be making videos about those birds and that it was a housing bubble, and nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared. Now, what I could do, what I'm tempted to do, I think I will do this. Swing machine's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go into the program and I'm going to turn it off. But don't worry. So I'm going to turn it off. And then it asks me when I turn it off, do you want to close the position? No, I do not want to close it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a tool at TradeStation called Matrix. And I want to take my time with this. And I'm going to set a stop loss. And how much do you want to risk? We're up 2,500. I'm going to put a stop loss, a rather arbitrary one, at about 1,000 bucks. That okay? So I got to put in a buy stop limit. So I'm guaranteed to make 1,000 bucks. And I'm going to just park on it. And I can do that. Why don't you run the strategy? Well, maybe I should. Chances are I probably should just take this profit and let the machine go long and do that. Probably. Most of the time that's the case. But it is Tuesday. And a lot of times we get a Tuesday. It is, right? Yeah, it is Tuesday. To double check that. And a lot of times we get a Tuesday turnaround. And I have Swing Machine on the 5-minute just getting short right now at 12:30, less than an hour ago. So I think if I just sit tight, don't try to overtrade, don't let the machine do too much, maybe I get myself a big fat sell-off this afternoon. And maybe we get ourselves not a negative outlier, but a positive outlier. If I get it wrong, I'll make 1,000 bucks. No biggie, right? No biggie. And that's what we'll do. And I'll answer any questions you have. But it is the stakes are high. I mean, I just I'm passionate about what we do and living here. I mean, we're all here together. We ever think about that? I mean, this you only get to go this way once, and you get to go with the people that are here, and we all pretty much want the same thing. We want the best for our family, and we want to be safe. We want to be prosperous, and we just don't need people screwing it up, right? I'm not so sure about some of the others, either side of the aisle or whatnot. And I hope they don't screw it up. And I think a lot of this too, we've been forced to think about it. Some of these people on either side of the aisle, we're not talking about, making 5 or 10 million, right? They have multiple homes that are 50 million. And they didn't start a business. They don't have a business. They're not a dentist. They don't have any special skills. The only thing they have is political influence. And when you have multiple homes that are worth 50 million apiece, it's a pretty, I know it's outrageous to think of, but that's an expensive lifestyle to maintain. They still got to pay the taxes. They still got to, and so they have to maintain that political influence if they're going to keep those homes and that lifestyle. It's hard for us to fathom, I mean, most people, you work your whole life, say 5, 10, 20 million, probably be pretty happy about it. Not with them. Not with them. Like I say, they got homes that are, worth 50 million apiece. And they have no real discernible skill. I mean, let's be real, right? I mean, really, what is their skill? Any of these, the polls, politicians, their skill is shaking us down. Either side, selling political influence and shaking us down. It's gross. They ain't shaking me down. Nope. Or Susan. Nope. And I don't believe the companies. I worked for these companies. I'm not going to say whom. Most of them are pretty good, but they can lie too. What their earnings going to be and yada yada. They have to get. Okay, this is Rabaki. Hey, I sent you an email a couple of hours ago for some information about the trading bot. This is the sort of thing, that and I thank you. If this is your email, let me go look because we did get an email, and I don't really respond to this because it's I don't know. I don't know if you're a bot yourself. Well, hopefully you're not, but you can be. But I'll get these emails and it'll say, "Hello, I'm interested in your trading bot. Can you please send me some information?" Um, what is that? I don't know. I don't understand what that is. We have a website. It explains in detail who we are. Um, we don't have, one trading robot. We got dozens and dozens of other tools and education. So I'm happy to answer your question, but you're going to have to do better at formulating a question than send me some information about a trading bot. Because, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry. All right. I want to be, again, time, right? I don't have the time to respond to stuff like that because it reeks of a trading of some sort of email bot or something, when somebody takes the time to say, hey Don, I'm so and so from so and so, and they take 2 or 3 minutes. I've been trading for a few years, and this is what I'm trading, and I visited your website, and I specifically have a question about this or that. What I'm going to respond to. But somebody who just says, hey, how much is that trading bot? It indicates to me that either they're a bot themselves or they didn't take the time to read the website or they just they don't know what they don't know. Does that make sense? So ask me a more detailed question. I'll be happy to answer. Appreciate it. And I just remind everybody, we say this a lot, so at the risk of repeating, um, trading like this is a skill set. You must learn how to drive. You must learn how to fly the plane. You must learn how to scuba dive, right? This isn't, hey, just send me the bot or I want to buy that bot. And then, oh man, that sucked. I didn't, I sometimes hear from people and they'll say something like, I subscribed to somebody and he ripped me off. Um, well, I'm always a little bit guarded with that. It's like, well, why didn't you ask more questions? Why didn't you, I don't know, sometimes. And I don't know what other people are doing or anything, but um, you know, think about what it is you're doing. Think about where it is you've been. Go to our website. There's a lot of information there and formulate your questions, detailed questions. And I'll be happy to, I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to. You should be skeptical. And by the way, when we set up that Q school, we set it up so that you're going to have to answer. No, yeah, exactly, Darian. Darian says you can't learn this stuff. No, you can't. You know, and the thing of it is, anybody can have a good trading day. So if you think you can learn something overnight and you have a good trading day the next day, well, then, maybe it was something you were doing, maybe it wasn't. You know. So exactly. exactly. So, but we set it up. If you think about the way our membership is, the monthly membership is month to month. So if we don't maintain value, you'll drop off, and most people don't, right? So, but we're comfortable with that. The annual membership, you can't even join as an annual until you go through the Q school. Now, there's some risk in that. This is a risk because somebody may go through the Q school and say, oh, now we've never had anybody say that. We've never had anyone say that they didn't learn a ton, even the folks that didn't go further. And there's already been a few. Um, so we won't even let you sign up as an annual until you do that. We want you for 3 weeks. So there could be we don't feel there's a risk, but I suppose others might think, what if you do it for 3 weeks and like you don't learn anything? Well, we know that isn't going to be the case, but you don't get the outcome you want. Now, it's possible you may not, depends upon how much time you put in and does it fit into your life. We have had a few people not go on, and we did have very nice people, one in particular, and it was a lady, and she just said, something, Don, she goes, I didn't realize it was this involved. And I don't think I can do this. I don't have the time to do this. I felt pretty bad because I thought we were and she was very fine about it. She goes, maybe at a later stage in my career, I can have the time to do this, but I'm not gonna have the time to do this. Okay. I'd rather do it before you commit and block off, but that was her conclusion. And but that's real. We had another person say that, and he did very well. He just said at the end of the day, he just said, I hate the computer. All right, well then, and he really did hate it. He didn't have to do any programming. He just said, I just hate the computer. And it's like, well, why do something you hate? Because we use the computers in a big way. That sort of thing, right? Our members work very, very hard at doing this. And almost to a person that probably never trading on Friday. They're done. They get started early and they end early. It is 1:24. We're going to let you watch until probably about 2. And any other questions, let us know. And you can see there's a little asterisk up there. So we're guaranteed to make 1,000. She's pulled back a little bit, but and we're going to try to sit on this trade through the afternoon. We'll see how we do. Thanks. I don't mean to be, I'm passionate about it, right? So, I'm not this animated maybe day in, day out. No, I don't think it's a good idea to be, but I am reminded, right? I do live in the real world. And as traders, we do live in the real world. And so we're aware of some things. And it's just, and that's where I also think that if these markets weren't, and they are rigged, right? There's no question they're rigged. No question about it. They're rigged and they're not real. But again, that's why we do what we do, right? If they were real and these markets were swinging 20, 30% on some of this stuff, I wish they were, because the American people wouldn't be so comatose. They would be demanding more and better because they'd be really pissed. It's one thing to have inflation and your retirement accounts are inflating with it. But when you got inflation and your retirement accounts are going down 30, 40, 50%, then they get really, really pissed. And that would be good because then they would demand better. Right now, they're getting away with it. Hey, Alex. So I just kind of wish that everyone else, they don't necessarily be doing what we're doing, but I just wish that they were a little bit more dialed in. So, like I say, when the inflation's really high and the politics is really shitty and everything else, but their retirement accounts are big and fat, and their company stock has tripled in 6 months, then they're like, who cares, honey? Let's go to Europe for the summer, let's go to Greece for a month or something. They're not out of it. They don't give a shit. But I know it's coming. I know, and it won't matter to us, right? Whether the S&P is at 5,600 or 7,500, or if it goes to 2,500, it does not matter to us because we're going to trade the money flow. Or we're going to extract cash flow. So, That's what we do. When you see the interview, or actually you see Warren Buffett in the old geezer beside him who since died. It was Charlie Munger, and they were talking about Jim Simons at Renaissance Capital, and Charlie Munger. They both praised them, and because he's was incredible, thousands and thousands of percent better than the investor class, and then of the overall market. But Charlie Munger made it a very astute observation, the old fart that he was. And two old farts, and I'm not taking anything away from either of those guys. They're bright guys, smart guys. And Charlie Munger said, well, the one thing about Jim Simons is that he was very, very good, very, very smart guy. And he was very, very good on the short term. He was very, very good on the short term, but not very good on the longer term because a lot of his investment style, trading style, is not suitable for the long term. Well, that kind of makes sense, right? Kind of makes sense. But there's a value in the short term. There's a value to that. All you have to do is read The Creature from Jekyll Island. That's all you need to know about the connection between the banks, feds, politicians, and the ultra wealthy. So it sounds like, Darian, did we recommend that to you, or did you already know that? But I thought maybe we were talking to somebody about it. And yeah, Creature from Jekyll Island. It's a scam. It's a banking cartel. The dollar is a weapon. The dollar is backed not by gold, it's backed by aircraft carriers. It is. Sorry, but it is. And it's a harsh world out there. It's a mean world. Mm-hmm. How did you enjoy it, Darian? Was that something? Darian is mentioning now, this may be new to the crypto, was new to the crypto kids. It's not new to us. It was new to me in the late 90s. The book was written, it's called The Creature from Jekyll Island, and the author is Edward G. Griffin. It is the story about how the Federal Reserve came about, how it came about, what it is, what it does, and how it manipulates things. It's a great book. It's about 800 pages, but if you don't have the time to read the book, do a Google search. Do yourself a favor. There are about 12 one-hour videos of G. Griffin reading the Cliff Notes. Do that. The quality of the picture isn't good. His voice is very good. And listen to that. Don't listen to the others because I don't know who's doing it, but get the Cliff Notes. Sit down with a cup of coffee and consume it over a couple of days, and then get back to me. If you don't know the story, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. And it was the one book. In fact, I read the book toward the end of the 90s. And it helped in large part for me to be out of the way of the dot-com crash. And then when it did happen, oh, wow. So it helped. There are some great books out there, and there are these buildings. There are these buildings in every little town, these stone structures. You go in there and they got these things, they got these shelves, and they got these things called books on them. We can learn from the people who've been here before. It's There's another great book, older book called The Madness of Crowds. The Madness of Crowds. What's that about? Bubbles. Bubbles. The tulip bubble. The South Seas bubble. Well, bubbles. The Madness of Crowds. It's a great name because that's what it is. It's the madness of crowds. Any questions for us? Let us know. We're not suggesting we have robot trader up there. We should say robot assisted trading. Robot assisted trading. We borrow that phrase from a company called Intuitive Surgical. Hey, Jason. Jason, the way you say that, are you a Jason I know? I mean, I know a few Jasons. I don't know. So, um, so Intuitive Surgical is they market and sell the surgical robot. I've had the chance to sit in that robot. It's quite a device. It's $1 million plus piece of equipment, and the hospitals have to build a special wing for it and special technology, and it's really something. And I have sat in it, and I can actually pick up little blocks with it and everything, but I can't do surgery on it. Why? Because I'm not a surgeon. So if you go to Intuitive Surgical, you'll see it. Now, the hospitals in town, they'll put up on the billboard, robot surgery. Honey, let's go to that hospital. They got a robot, R2D2. You're going to do the robot. You're going to do some of that robot surgery on me. Most procedures, you don't need a robot. But in some procedures, you do. But the operative word there is surgical assisted robot. You must be a surgeon to operate the robot, right? You may have the money to buy a plane. You might, and that plane may come with a flight control. But just because you have the money to buy the plane, and just because that's got cruise control, I'm not going to get in that plane with you and go for a spin off of Cape Cod. I'm not doing that. Okay. Um, you need to have some flight time. So we do make trading robots, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to have any trading skill. No, in fact, you need to have more. You do. And that isn't sitting back on your home machine trying to trade candles day in and day out. And the moving average is doing that, and the stochastic's doing that. Those stochastics will cost you a lot of goddamn money. Excuse the French, but they will. Oh, they're overbought. Oh, they're oversold. Shit, they were even more overbought, and I shorted them, and now they're going. I can't. Just get rid of them. Get them off your screen. The MACD, the volume, all that shit. The bulk of that is not going to work. It's going to cost you money. But you do need to know how to use these tools. And so it just takes time. It takes time, but we spend 3 weeks to give you with you individually one-on-one to hopefully get you started in the right direction. Doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter what any of our members do. It only matters what you do. This is learn to trade your game, not anyone else's. I'm going to have to take Ted for a pee. He's come in here and said, hey, I got to go out that. So I will be right back. I'll let you watch. I have a stop on. If that bitch comes back and I only make $1,000, that's it. I only make 1,000, but that's okay. I'll be right back. Any questions, let us know. And we're back. Yeah, every dip. Well, we're not trading every dip. Um, and there's a technique, if you're looking at radar. But but it is giving us trading information, so we don't have to be going blind on a chart. We can see everything we need to see here. And when it comes to a meritocracy, and we don't really have that. Unfortunately, I'm a little out of breath because I just ran in with Ted hot out there. But when you go to the doctor, you don't give a crap if at least I don't, if he's a Republican or a Democrat. I just want a good doctor. When I get on the airplane, I don't really give a crap what his politics is or I just need a good pilot, you know. Um, I don't know why we don't demand that. Um, on either side, we just don't have our politicians that maybe some are there for merit, but it's not a meritocracy. It just isn't, just isn't. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's such a, I know it's such a divisive thing, but we even had, I mean, I looked up, I thought she presented herself well. It was a young lady from Florida, Congresswoman. She might be really good for all you know. She's not my district, and she was grilling that Cheeto. And I looked up her background, and I'm not passing judgment on it, but she was a stripper at one time at a gentleman's club. Okay. I guess you do what you have to do. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. I don't know. But it's like, is this the best? You know, is that what we want? Is that what a person would decide to do in life? I don't know, you know, and we only got, 500 of these people that make, collectively decisions that affect us. And there will be a comeuppance. There will be. I'm not going to try to say when it's going to be, but I can say this, that when it comes, and it will come, we will see it. Our members will see it. It'll come in not just in one day, but it'll come for days and months. Be extremely volatile. The noise level will be outrageous. Our members will be killing it, and it'll be a tough environment to learn. No, it wasn't Kamala. No, it was Republican actually. What's her name? Luna? Luna? And I don't know anything about her. I mean, she's a Republican. I mean, she was beating the shit out of that Cheeto girl. Um, but I read her background, and she was military service, and I don't know what, but then, she spent some time at a pretty girl, I guess, but working as a stripper. I don't know. Um, I wouldn't do that. If I was a girl, woman, young lady, I would have some self-respect. That's not something I would do, but whatever. But is that, I don't know. She's up in the panhandle. I don't know anything about her, but yeah, Luna. Again, I don't know anything about her. What caught my eye was she was grilling Cheeto yesterday, and I'm like, who is that girl? I didn't know if she was a Democrat or Republican. She's a Republican, and she's from the Panhandle. And when I did a wiki search on her, that's one of the things that come up. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. I mean, but yeah, you know, we won't get into it. It isn't worth it. But it is when we get into these periods, I've been reminded over and over again with Susan why we did what we did, right? Um, and why we do what we do, right? And it has served us well. It fits with us, fits with our lifestyle. I'm not trying to be Jim Simons. I'm not out looking to collect monies. I suppose we could try to, but we're not. And um, I just put a value on. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. that was the girl. So I don't know if Carlo is here. Carlo might be. So Carlo, if you are, I'll you let me know if you're there on YouTube. You might be. So I get a maybe a more expounded email. So it tells me that he's not a bot, he's real. And he says, "Hey Don, I am Carlo from Germany and I am trading futures for like 3 years now, and I'm searching for a nice trading bot. Then I found your website and I hope it's not a scam like 99% of these bots. I am interested in your swing bot. I got a couple of PA accounts to try it out. I have watched some of your live streams and I'm very interested in it. Sorry, your English is just fine. Be nice to hear from you. Cheers." So let me just respond to Carlo, should Carlo be listening. First thing, our tools are not, and we're not scammers, right? However, let me just say this, is that I'm not making any claims. I'm not that you are automatically going to make money. Now, we had a high watermark last week of trading just one mini contract last week of $8,000. We walked away with about 6,000 for the week. This week, we're up 2,500 right now. That doesn't mean that that's what you're going to do. So I don't know, right? I don't know. We have had members make $100,000 in a week. That doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't mean that that's what you're going to do. And I don't know what they're doing this week or the next week. I don't know. So that's you must have this acquired trading skill. So I'm not going to comment what is out there. I do know that there are tools out there and people present the information as a trading robot. This is the performance of the trading robot, and all you have to do is just plug it in and you're going to do this. I would be I would be beyond skeptical of that. In fact, I would say, that's snake oil. I'm interested in your swing bot. Well, that could be Swing Machine, but we have over 70 tools, 70, and you don't get one, you get them all as an annual member. So that's it. But in your note, you didn't really ask me any question, right? So think about it if you can hear me, and feel free to ask me a specific question. If you guys ask me specific questions, I'll give you specific answers. But one of the things that if you would need to find out, now we have members in Germany, but I'm not sure if all of Germany is the same. You want to ascertain whether or not you can get access to, if you want to become an annual member, to TradeStation, the same version of TradeStation that we have in the States and Germany. I think that you can, but that would be one thing that you would want to answer. But I will respond to Carlo later today in writing, should he not be there. Yeah, that's exactly right. These bots, how we use them is we use them as models, right? So like right now, the model, it's given us the profit that we have right now, but I've just turned the strategy off, and I'm gonna fly the rest of the afternoon with hopefully Swing Machine off that 5 minute, and maybe I'll do better than the bot, maybe I won't. Um, is that you, Carlos, by any chance? I don't know. With a broker, we're using TradeStation here, but we have multiple brokerages. But our tools will only work on TradeStation. We have members that have NinjaTrader. I don't have NinjaTrader. But we have members that do, but they also have TradeStation. I think NinjaTrader is a lot of former TradeStation people, but our tools won't work on Ninja. Oh, okay, that is you, Carlos. Okay, so I won't respond to you in writing, but so basically, any specific question, but let me just explain our membership that is explained on the website. You join for a month, it's $100. You'll get some videos and you'll get a little bit of education, and it's ideal for the swing trader looking to stay on the right side of the market. And you get a good idea. If you want these tools on your desktop, you need to become an annual member. But before you become an annual member, you got to go through what we call the Q School. We got to make sure that we spend quality time with you and you get a chance to ask us over a 3-week period the questions that you need to ask and you need to see. We want you to go through that once. Got to go through it once. Don't have to do it again. Does that slow down our membership? Yes. Does that screen out a lot of people? Yep. And that's a good thing. Because see, I don't want somebody that's just passing by, sign up for an annual, not understand what this is, not understand who we are, and then lump us into with everybody else. Oh, that guy ripped me off. It didn't, because they didn't know how to use anything. Right. And that's what, that's so we're confident in what we're doing. We're confident in what we're teaching. We're like, okay, well, I'll tell you what, before you become an annual, you go through an annual membership, or an annual, not an annual membership, a Q School for 3+ weeks. We're with you every day for 1 to 2 hours. You get to ask us all individual, one-on-one, all sorts of individual questions. If you have TradeStation at that time, you get some programs to work with, you get education. And then at the end of the 3 weeks, then you have a much better idea. And you might say, oh, I got a great education. It's not for me. Or you might say, you know what, it is a great thing. And yeah, I get it. And I want to do it, and we'll have you up and trading, during that time. So that's why we do it that way. Does it slow it down? Yep. Do we get fewer members because of that? Yep. But that's the only way we're going to do it, because it's the responsible way. And I don't want, a drive-by, just thinking like, oh, I'm going to get Swing Machine and I'm just going to throw it up there and I'm going to make, I saw him make $8,000 last week, or 6,000 or 5,000, and I'm going to do, no, we're going to slow it down. We're going to slow it down. And once you do join, by the way, your cost will never go up. And there is an annual cost. And then every year afterwards, it drops from where it is to $3,500, and we give you 1 month free for every year you've been with us going forward, up to 6 months, whereby you can actually reduce the effective cost. You can actually cut it in half. And that works because as you work with our tools and with us, you become more and more and almost virtually totally independent. And it's less work for you, it's less work for us, and so it works. And so we reward the loyalty, and it works. That makes sense. That's why we do what we do. But that Q School needs to be scheduled, right? So we do need to have a conversation over the phone or through Zoom one-on-one to make sure that, that you understand what the Q School is, what that's about, and what the steps are. And I'm happy to schedule, something like that. If you become a monthly member, you do get a 1-day hall pass where we'll let you patch in on the Zoom early one morning. We'll give you kind of a tour, and then you can hang out for the rest of the day. And we'll do that. Now we do have unlimited monthly members. That's unlimited. And then we have limited number of licenses that we issue every year, a limited number. And it's usually no more than two new members a month. It's very individual, right? It's no classroom, it's no bulk, it's very individual. Because everyone's coming in with different trading skill. Some have been trading longer than us, some no trading skill. Makes sense? I hope so. But thanks for reaching out. And I say you should be, we encourage people to be skeptical. We encourage you to be curious. We do, right? But you've got to do your own due diligence, right? I always get a little, I mean, I know what's out there. I know there's some bad stuff out there, but I also know there's some good stuff out there. And when people say, oh, I got ripped off, I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe they did. I paid for some things that didn't, but you know what? The onus still is on you, is on me to make sure that you're making a good decision, right? And that's why we slow everything down. That's why you can't join a monthly like for a year. It's month to month. And I'm comfortable. Is there risk in that? Yeah. If at the end of the month you don't see the value, then you won't stay. So, but I'm all right with that. And again, on the Q School, so we were actually trying to give folks before they join for the annual, before all that, we're trying to give them a view of who we are, what we're about, give them an opportunity to work with the tools, get an education at the same time, and to give them an opportunity to say, nope, this isn't what I thought it was. This isn't for me. I don't have the time to do this. I don't like it. And, and that's a good thing, we think. And that's rarely happened, right? That's really, but that's, if it does, right? There's only been a few for various reasons. So, any case, we're going to see. We said I'm going to shut up because I'm doing a lot of talking and I got some work to do. But we're going to let you watch. We'll let this trade finish out. How about that? And when that trade finishes out, whenever it is, then we'll shut down. So we'll let you watch. Swing Machine is not controlling this, but we are influenced with this 5-minute trade right here, and we have a hard stop on that trade. We're for the good right now. We're up what $2,200 for the week trading one mini, so that's just fine. We get to 30,000 plus, which will be over 5,000. We will shut down for the week. That could be later today. That could be tomorrow morning. We won't keep trading until Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We don't do that. We make our money and then we shut down and go do something else. There is a technique for trading Swing Machine. We don't have the time, unfortunately, to in-service you on that. You're on delay. I wouldn't suggest you try to do it. It isn't just a red light, green light. There's a lot of lights blinking, but they're doing something very specific. We can trade Swing Machine robotically, right? We can put it on a chart and it can trade robotically. It can trade multi time frames. It can trade multiple markets, compare and contrast markets. It's a lot of different things that we can do. A lot of different exit logic that we can do. Again, if this position comes down to about $1,000, we're going to stop out, and that'll do it for our session today. It looks like it's going to pull back. Now, if I disable the strategy and the strategy is actually long, it did go long, it would have already taken its profit. So once again, probably would have done better, but we'll see. We'll see how this one plays out. But the strategy would have gone long at, I can tell you, at 19972. 19972. Trading is a great life. You don't have to travel, not a lot of paperwork, not a lot of overhead. I don't have to hire anyone. I don't have to, um, it's just that. There's no conference calls, this you can do it wherever you be. Um, there are times that we're on the road, you wouldn't even know it. And because I can take it with me. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, there it is. And so the trade, now we probably would have done better, if we had taken, the profit earlier and let the machine run, but we can put it back on. So we're to the good, 2 grand on YouTube. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye and leave you to your means. Carlo, thank you for your question. Darian, good to see you. Anyone else, we encourage you to visit the website. We're done. We're done for today. We'll kick this on probably tomorrow, early in the morning tomorrow, and do it all again. Now we may or may not be on YouTube, but feel free again to drop us an email and ask us anything specific after you've had a chance to review the site. Good night and good afternoon. Good luck, everybody. Thanks. We'll wait a few minutes. You're on delay, so if there's any last minute questions, feel free. Okay, everyone, we wish you the best. Have a great rest of the day.